What's going on? Here we are again. If you look right here, you see a calendar that depicts the Knights of Sufferlandria training, which, if you look at it, it's a lot of training. I mean, I moved making an hour record to today from yesterday, and Suff Idle from on Monday to Tuesday. So today I'm going to try to do these two right here. Day off tomorrow. I'll probably do some Zwift. And then after that, looks like on Saturday morning, there's a 3-hour ride or 2.5 hours. No, that's, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Then after that, we're just going to keep going. And Knighthood attempt is on the 30th of January. And that's 10 hours there. This ride right here, where you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it almost seems like you're halfway there. But I know on one of the other days, you do a lot more. So I don't remember whether it is. I don't know. What stinks is that in this calendar setup, you can't actually delete or move things around. I mean, you can move things around by changing the date, but you can't actually delete the entire training program, which I would prefer, because if you look in February, I moved all these from a portion of my previous one. I couldn't delete them. I could just mark them as done, but that's a lie. So I just kept moving it down the road. Anyways, we're going to start here with, I don't know, let's see what this looks like. Easy cadence, 20 minutes holding at FTP, and whatever else. But it's a great warm-up short ride, or when you don't have too much time. But we're going to go here, making an hour. Talks about going behind the scenes to watch Rohan Dennis and Team BNC meticulously prepare to break the world hour record. Crap, that seems pretty crazy. Let's see here if I could change it. We're gonna start it. Let's see what happens here. Got the heart rate monitor on already. It's trying to connect to my ticker, but I have to turn off my Bluetooth on my phone for it to read here. Doesn't tell me it's supposed to be on erg mode or not. I wish it just told you or did it. But anyways, don't change, adjust 40p. This is me going at it 100%. The ride intensity, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could change that, and I know a lot of people that attempt Knighthood would probably start at 90 and they taper up down to 70%. But seeing some of this is really cool, just seeing where I would be at. I need to recover, to be honest. So I'm going to do 80%. Why not? Let's try that out. Let's see how that works out. And then the speed is Sufferfest speed. I don't know what the difference is between the three. Or between the two. I know I changed it here to Sufferfest speed. One time because I think it was better, or that's what they say to use. But yeah, all right then, let's get going. And from what I know, I'm not sure if there's a little bit of sound. Holy crap, are they going already? I see a little bit of a clock. Alright, it's already at 20 seconds. Anyways, here we go. Whew. These guys just rounding around on a track. It's kind of insane, kind of intense. Quads are aching already. I did not get to use my Theragun. All jerseys you see me wearing are from 10 years ago. That's a sweet view, man. Cyclodrome right there. Woo. Look how high it is on the seat. I need to probably raise my...
The motivation to break the hour record was really the new rules. So it's a standard TT position, as we've got on the track
Standard time
for
trial
racing,
position.
or the time trial position. So when Jens
my
made it,
cadence is too high,
Jens
so
Voigt made it pretty
I'll
public
shift
that
up the gear.
he was attempting it. I sort of
There you
shot
go.
my mouth off a little bit and sort of said I'd beat him easily. Now
So,
it's sort of time to
how's everyone doing?
live up to
Especially
those
with
words,
today's
and the team's backing me
news
100%
catastrophe.
to sort of come in here and
Pretty ashamed.
attempt to break not just his, but
Even
now
friends on the
Brendel's,
right and left.
Brendel's record.
I was
Everyone
pretty
can agree
convinced
that
he
it
can
was
do
good.
that because he was so strong Tour Down Under, you know,
Tomorrow's a new
and
day, and hopefully
you
we
knew
rise
that
up.
the other guys are
come
not
up with better
that strong
solutions.
as he is. I mean, Jens Voigt is
Can't wait for the next 2 weeks.
what we call a routinier. This means he
Again.
knows he can do things as this,
Hopefully we'll
but
have
he certainly is not the
a better
best
candidate.
world champion from his talents, that's clear.
and some
The other
type
guy,
of sensible
Brandley, is the
leadership.
Austin guy's a pretty good guy, but I knew Ron is a better rider.
leadership that hopefully everyone
Absolutely
can
better
get behind.
rider. When you see his
How do
performances
we come
in
together now? How about we all
time
go
trial,
biking?
what he can do, you know, and so I was pretty convinced he goes to do
I
that
gotta really move the
because he
stand
was
right
also in
here,
shape.
the one that I'm talking to.
And
Because-
from all these race days in Australia,
Or have
going
closed
well.
captioning.
I wasn't nervous, no. I thought he will do it, okay.
It really wasn't a request from Rohan as much as it was a kind of a brainstorm around the World Championships in Spain in September when we were
It's
there.
the first time I'm able to keep my power
you know, with our
and my cadence
management
right
team
on money.
discussing
I like it.
2015 programs, races, calendars, training programs, talking about the season as a whole, and the idea of
45 minutes
Rowan
plus 22. Here we go.
doing or attempting the hour record came up because there was discussion at that point also with Jens Voigt going to be doing an attempt shortly after that, that maybe that was something that would be interesting for us to do with Rowan in particular, because he was pretty fresh at that point when we were in September at the Worlds, winning the team time trial, getting fifth in the individual. It seemed like a young guy that maybe could do that sort of an effort. So we decided to explore it. And that's
This is
when
a pretty steady ramp
started
up
to
here.
talk to Rowan and started to make some planning. What would this entail? When we could do it, all the what ifs questions were put on the table, and we started answering those questions by ourselves or exploring the questions through other means. And this wasn't something we woke up yesterday and decided to do. So yeah, the planning for this, the idea of it, and the motivation to do it came from Rowan and from the management team to take this task on.
If you look at how skinny some of these guys are, when you read any biographies about those who have been in the Tour de France or any bicyclists, doing one push-up could be a
Yep, with him on the
death
ride.
wish in terms of adding weight or muscle. I mean,
Yeah.
the saying is, if this is
Gonna weigh me?
loose, that means you're in weight,
You could weigh me.
which is kind of insane to think about. But the only part of you that you want big is
Hold the bike.
quads down.
There you go. System mass. Right.
85 kilograms.
85.1.
See?
I'm super light. Now I measure just to the top of the saddle from the ground. Do you need some young eyes? Something like that.
I'm gonna get up and weigh myself.
Do you know what
With
the
my
tire
bike.
pressure was? 12. So what I need you to do, we're just going to go in this direction. We need one full revolution. It's not sitting on the bike. Sitting on it? Yep.
Just follow the river.
Look at those wheels. Look at that bike. How much do you think a bike cost?
I was thinking with the
It's a paper.
So we're going to
Would it
use. I'm
would it
going to
be better
measure
if we
off
use
the
the pedal?
rear wheel.
If you want, but we have to measure the.
Yeah, as long as you go
Just the
straight.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're just going. You're just going to sit on the saddle. Somebody will hold you.
but is the pedal? Nah, actually, the pedal. If we go from there, yeah,
We have to measure to the wheels.
it'll be quick. Yep. Pedal up and down.
We just mark.
One full revolution.
Time to decompress and do a steady state hour. There you go.
$20.85.
Should we double check that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. 2085.
$5.16.
You just make an intention on the chain.
Yeah.
You have to,
Oh.
because they got it
Yeah,
away.
that's
Because
what
if
it
you
was.
if you leave a ride, you have always tension on the chain.
Yeah.
That the offset that should be with no
I mean, taking all the
tension.
measurements to make sure
580, there we
You
go.
know,
On the standard
perfect
was
for setting a world record.
Perfect.
All right. So again, now we start with 30K an hour, which is going to be slow. I know you're going to be probably right on the transition.
I'll probably be on the blue.
You want
in
to-
the corner.
Yeah, in the corner, stay down on the blue. Once you get up to 35 and 40, then just try to ride black line straight on it. No extra uphill, downhill. Right on the black. I'll give you how many laps left, and
There's 3 for each up to 55.
Yep.
So there's 30, 35,
35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
So 30 laps. So 30?
Nope.
No, sorry,
24.
You need to do
24.
60, but I do it because you can.
Yeah, then just go 60, 65, 70, 75, 80.
I step on your feet.
Pretty cool.
So give it a couple
Never
laps.
really
just
watched one of these races before.
To get dialed in where 30 is. Once you're ready, just say, here we go. And I want you to stay in the same position. So hands, head. Try to think of yourself as just being in that.
I need those bars.
Locked
I mean,
and
I have
loaded.
clip-ons.
Praying mantis, you're getting ready to go to work.
Down.
Or you're going to work. Yep.
Clip-ons always good because I can't shift, but I mean, this is it's a regular bike anyway. It's a time, not a time trial bike. It's a, I forgot the name of the bike, cyclocross bike. I believe it's one gear. Just, that's it.
One more here? Up to 40.
And he's riding right on that line.
One more here. Good.
Since 2012, Rowan hasn't been on the track a lot, though last, even not just past winter, but the previous winter, would have him on the track doing some training over the winter, November, December months, just as a standard thing in his preparation for the upcoming season. So it wasn't adding a lot of different elements other than the specificity then of the hour, the longer duration, and getting all the new bikes and things
Look at that.
set up properly,
So close to the
double
line.
disc, etc. We were doing 17.14 seconds per lap for the 52.5. So there's a couple different ways. So we can actually calculate really for his aerodynamic drag what that power is, and then in the gear that would be appropriate what the RPM is. And so he can go out on the road and do efforts on the TT bike, which is a very pretty much identical position at that goal power, at that goal cadence. And it's going to be a little different not being on a fixed gear, but there's still some good preparation that he can do out otherwise, not just on the track.
Pre-season, I've been on a track probably at least once a week. Not obviously the first couple
pretty
of
cool.
weeks of
It's like
training.
watching a
It was-
Discovery
I think it was
Channel
18th
show.
November was my
Being on a bike.
first day on the track. So really I've spent
On Earth mode,
December,
it's supposed to change.
start
for
of
me.
January, and since I got here it's been every day. Obviously the track I trained on in Oz, in Adelaide, was the different shape to Grenken, but I think the shape here is actually a benefit as well. It's a lot more round, shorter straights. So it's a little bit easier, better flow around the track as well.
The team has put a lot of really good resources together from, all the people that are here, as well as there's some pieces that aren't here. And so coordinating with everyone and having basically, conference calls and videos and separate meetings to get all the potential pieces that would be required for success together ahead of time. And that was a big part of it, of understanding. It's not just riding the distance, it's what it takes to do that, to be putting everyone together in the right place at the right time with the right kind of support to have the best possible chance to do it.
My role is to be a little bit the link between all the departments, between the media, the logistics and the performances. Based on my former experience as a rider, I have knowledge both on the performance and science and both on the logistic and organization. So it's to overview a little bit and have a look from at the top on the whole project. I think it's it pushes everyone in the team and in the factory to set the bar higher to achieve the performances. Push everyone work to the high.
So this is the 30-minute test that they're talking about. Velodrome. Swiss. It's boa. Shoes, that's pretty cool. Boa is the twist tie. How's he moving? Is he on rollers? No. I think it's fast. That contraption is in the back. There we go. It's 124 right now. We're measuring the cadence. Looks like this is the top. There it is. Riding in the velodrome. I'm not down, so I'm going to come down here. Is that how fast he's going? I guess.
Come get you here.
Is that like a trial?
You can sit right there.
Love the helmets. These things are
Well
quite
done.
ridiculous.
First feeling.
Comfortable. It was still solid, but I could have kept going.
You have to do that in a couple days. We ended about 5 seconds ahead of schedule.
7:33.
That's very, very good.
7:18.
A bit of a mishap.
Yeah, you got the punch there. I thought it was a
I
tire.
just went a little bit too far. I was like, whoop.
Yeah, I thought it was a tire. That was a very good, excellent run through. Put things basically to the schedule. He was running just slightly ahead here and there.
They're doing a blood test?
Within a couple tenths. So at the end of the game, for that 30 minutes, about 5 seconds ahead of what our planned schedule is, which is a conservative, will break the record, even if he doesn't improve speed from this point.
And I think he has the potential based on what we've saw today. There are certain things at this point we're not guessing. We know a lot, but you still have to do it. And so that's why today is a good run through to get everything done.
So today was a
Sorry,
half an hour.
guys.
It was
Working in
52.425.
concert
Yep,
here.
So
correct.
what's
For
that
this one
potential
record by this
for
one individual.
coming Sunday? I mean,
Again, if he didn't change pace at all, that would be 52 point, maybe 5, 52.45 to 52.5 with no change. He has the ability to increase from that. We want to set up for success, and so that, could be flirting with the 53k an hour barrier.
that would be good.
That would be very good.
Yeah.
Anything better than 52.8 would be very good.
Look, it was solid,
You're
but it
talking
was
about
comfortable.
kilometers an hour, right?
I finished it and I wasn't on my hands and knees, and I felt like I still had something more to give. So we'll stick to that schedule, I think, for Sunday, and hopefully same feelings, same sensations, and bring it home a little bit stronger.
What does this do to you?
It lifts them a little bit. Obviously, there's a bit of an unknown on
Trainers are those.
how I was going to go. Obviously, even over half an hour, I was a little bit cautious in my own head. I may look confident on the outside, but there's still a little bit of doubt. But that sort of gets rid of that
heart rate's
first
not
30
really going
minutes
up.
of doubt.
So that
And
means
from
I'm
then
not
on,
trying
it's
it hard
just
enough?
bring it home,
Or
finish it off,
fit?
and hopefully it's a record.
Today the track is empty. Sunday it's going to be crowded, hopefully. Does that help you, or does it work in your disadvantage?
Really, I try not to notice the crowd too much. Obviously, I just go through my routine. I've got
workout tape.
the staff,
Kinetic
coach,
tape, whatever they call it.
soigneurs, everyone around me, mechanics helping with every little detail. I don't have to worry about anything. I'll just do my warm-up step by step, get up on the track and do my job. So
I bought a roll of that
if I
in
just
2010.
think about the small steps to
used
get
it
to
since.
the start line, and then just every lap is just another
Ooh,
small
that looks
step
like it hurts.
to the end. It's sort of, I'll obviously break it down into bigger sections, 15, 20-minute sections, but there are also smaller sections of just not worrying about what's going on outside and just worrying about what you're doing. 52.5, I think, is definitely within reach. 53 is obviously, if I have the same sensations today, I think that's my end goal.
What is
Obviously, I'm going to have to lift towards the end a fair bit, but I think once I get that sort of feeling that it's only 20, 15 or 10 minutes left, I've still got a little bit of gas to give. I'll really just bring home. It's going to be max effort, really.
So what is he doing? Track machine TR01.
This one is the run bike for the attempt. It's exactly the same bike that we have, TR01, for the track machine. We developed it. It's the best machine that we did it. It's nothing different from a different standard one. He's using the standard frames that we have. We have some
Continental
details. We are
Olympic.
working on the cockpit because it's a record. So we are just optimizing each details to keep the best performance for run. You see a conform frame with a tripwire profile just to be optimized in aerodynamics. The Terra 1, I think, is the best bike that we ever did do for the track. And he's really happy. We just fit him on the best position. Tests are really perfect, so we are ready.
The other big piece of the picture is BMC. The bikes they put together, every piece, the SRM, the wheels,
Try
the
changing that
tires,
to
the
kilometers
bars.
an
I mean,
hour.
every one of those pieces is just
Here goes the
I
long
don't know.
steady state
I
at
mean,
111.
10 to 100 emails going back and forth and phone calls and people trying to get things done in certain amounts of time. And to piece all that together, I mean, yeah, it's a big undertaking for those guys. And that's why we're really lucky to have our sponsor.
This time machine was developed in conjunction with the Swiss national team. It was developed as an Omnium bike, So we have one bike where you can
50
do
degrees outside
mass
here in
start
San Diego.
races and pursuit.
My garage.
And that was the
I should
whole,
put a
I would say,
thermometer in the
background
garage.
of the development.
I'm definitely getting hot
And
now.
yeah, the bike is
Gonna have to
now
wear a
with
jacket
the
tonight.
national team for 1 year. And so we had a very solid base for Rohan to build on, good
Those
experiences.
disc wheels, man.
And we knew
Freaking awesome.
once we get the news from this, our record,
making his own chain.
what we had to do or what
Looks
we
like
can
he
do
is.
right away. The decision to use the road crank means that you move your chain line 6 millimeter to the outside, which for us then created a small problem on the back because we had to move the sprocket also outwards. And in order to do this with a reliable setup, we machined special steel sprockets. Also in our Impact Advanced R&D lab with the CNC machine we have there. And
I mean, when they're manufacturing their
that
own
was
bike
basically
with
the solution.
precision
It's a
that is
very
required.
attractive event
amazing.
for a bike brand because it's, I would say, highly related to performance. It's the rider's performance and the bike performance or the aerodynamic package. And this makes it for us, of course, a very nice competition. BMC want to have the best performing bikes. And I think it's another chance to prove that we have this.
The name BMC is very much identified with sports, top performances, no? And that's good for us. And this is logically
Pushing 50 and a half miles
making
an hour.
the demand for our products all
Consistently.
over.
For this half
Anyway,
block.
increasing, independent of that world record. But one thing and the other thing adds together
My heart rate
and makes
steadily
in the end
increasing.
a big reputation,
Most of those what-if questions I have, how much is it going to cost? Where are we going to do it? When are we going to, how is he going to do it? Can he do it? So, the list of questions started to come up, as I said. And so as we started to answer those questions over the next 30 days or so, we then got to the point where we could make a final decision on whether to do this or not do it. And whether to do it now or whether to do it later. But all those questions were answered by the first part of December.
Really, the whole project was organized by Marco Pinotti, and he's a coach, but he's also sports science, sports performance, and so it's really his department that organized all this.
We make decision about time of the race, how do we approach it, those things that normally we have no control of. Like when we go in a race, the percourse is done, the time is done. So, but we have to decide, make a decision based also on logistically, on when do we do the attempt, how do we approach it.
The one thing that I don't like about these series is that
what
it just shows you an overall clock. It
environment
doesn't show you what each section is, and it doesn't break it down.
Timing of the event, how to manage the public coming into the venue, making sure the temperature stays stable. So there are more. We have more responsibility, more things to control, which can help. So that on the other side, you need more resources.
It is a big undertaking, bigger than I had imagined. A lot more
It's a nice,
detail
steady effort.
had to be brought into the equation, not just from the performance side, because we have a great performance team that helped Rowan prepare for this, and I think they did everything according to the checklist, the way it should have been done.
Now it wants me to go back
So he's here
to
and
zone
ready to
one.
go, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But also the logistical things around the use of the velodrome and the selection of the dates and the idea of doing this in BMC country was a consideration. And so in doing that and making that decision to do it here in
The
Grenchen,
next bike I want is a Pinarello.
and using
Maybe
the
with some
Swiss
SRAM
velodrome
or
for
Shimano
this
Di2.
attempt was
SRAM red.
all part of that
I'm not sure.
planning process and outside of the performance
It would be nice to
preparation.
have a
So
dedicated road bike
as a
and come
whole,
back to this trainer.
it was quite an
not have to
undertaking,
swap
yes,
them out.
over just a couple of months. And I'm sure that everybody else that's attempting to do this or thinking about doing it will take a lot of that into consideration as well as they're making the decisions to do this or not do it and where to do it and how to do it and what dates.
The goal is to have the lowest
There we go.
air density.
The rower's
to
up
have
on
the
deck.
performances. And the air density is controlled by humidity, temperature, and barometric pressure. So we have a control of temperature at a certain point.
How a guy breaks a
Less
speed
control
record,
humidity, but we can
hour
manage it a
record in
little bit
development. Riding an ultimate
controlling
tool.
temperature, and we have no control on barometric pressure. So this week it seems like the barometric pressure is lower because we have
You know what I should do?
bad
is put the
weather
GoPro
outside, which
up
might
in the
help.
Same picture there.
And the main control we have is on the
What I need
temperature,
to do is
but
get the
outside
mic
it's very
working
cold.
on this thing.
So normally the
It was
temperature
working one day.
is up to 19, is 18 degrees, 19 degrees, 20. And we have to increase it until up to a point where it won't hurt the performances because of the heat production. So it's always a balance between what is the best in terms of performances and what makes the performances worse.
I'm pretty confident. I've been working really hard over the pre-season and off-season to perform
I flip back
in
and
the
forth
hour
from the
attempt.
chats.
So,
if you guys ever
along with
type something
all the
out.
support from BMC and my coach Neil, I don't see a reason why, if I do everything like I've planned and trained for, there won't be a record set on Sunday the 8th.
I plan the meals. I also look at the composition and the amount of carbohydrates. I make sure that he gets his proteins. We know a little bit also from the past which proteins he used and which pre-race meals he used. But for me, it's really making sure that he gets the portion. This seems right for his weight also. So this is really then individualized for him.
And
so I make sure that he's really then ready when he gets on bike. We plan it right from the beginning, from the breakfast, the snacks before, the fluid. So we really monitor also his weight to make sure he's well hydrated.
And
so you make sure that he's really on top then when he gets on bike. For rowing, it's pretty much the same comparing to another race. It's really important the timing before, so loading up for the hour. The only difference maybe is that in the hour record you don't have a bottle on the bike. So you really need to fuel up before, make sure he's really well hydrated, and then he goes for the full hour.
Yeah, my nerves are, obviously there are nerves there.
I knew I was going to burn it
I've
off
done all
here.
the preparation with the team and with my form from Tour Down Under and Nationals just before this. There's no reason why I shouldn't back myself. Obviously, there's always going to be nerves when you care about something, and if there are no nerves, it's a bad thing, I think. But they're good nerves.
I think it's a way to support a young athlete in the team that has dreams and aspirations. It's
maybe that would actually translate.
It's a historic.
I used my AirPods, right?
Record attempt.
There you go. Look at this.
In that, there's been many stars in the sport that have attempted to set the hour record and have set the hour record over the years, dating back to the 1880s. You know, when they started this idea that you need to be timed for an hour and let's see how fast you can go. People have been chasing the record since then. So here we are in 2015, making an attempt ourselves at it. It's a historical accomplishment if you can do it. You get your name in the record books, and you set yourself up as a real time trial specialist if you actually break the record.
I remember, I think I saw when Tony Rominger made his world record. I think it was in Bordeaux, on the track in Bordeaux. But I was never really physically present on this such attempt. Okay, but it was interesting to see because you know you run against your time, and so the whole interest in the people in that race is absolutely great. I mean, you saw the people then standing, you know, and clapping the hands. Come on, and so on. And we saw also he was on the end. Of course, he had just to go through the hell. This is a different ball game when you see it. Then on the track yourself, you're there, or on the TV. That's a different ball game.
If we're going to go back to Team 3 full security, it's not going to happen. It's not if we're hopping by. Just watching a movie and checking my email about carbo loading. For today, well, for tomorrow, but today's today's food I have to consume, basically. This is basically my job right now. Other than riding my bike, I watch TV, I get a massage. It's pretty well, say, one of the most boring parts of our job, but most relaxed at the same time. You watch a lot of movies and sometimes watch them 3, 4, 5 times within a year, really.
Here we go. February 7, final training day. Let's see what he pushes.
The distance has been, to one degree, relative to where the current record is. So last week there was an attempt that did not actually succeed in breaking the record. We had a few different options in mind, possibilities, based on what we thought theoretically someone else could do, and then what Rowan was capable of doing in perfect conditions and situations. So had kind of a floating target for a little bit, and now as it stands, there's a current record. And we did some testing here, specifically on this track with Rowan, with all of his equipment, to really dial in where that current target is for Sunday. In looking at the actual distance that Rowan will cover in the hour, we have to look at where the current record is, as well as what we can see other riders possibly doing in the near future, and setting a mark that is right at the edge of what Rowan's capabilities are relative to his current position, aerodynamics, etc. The first order of business is to break the existing record, no matter what you do. So if you fail in doing that, then you've put a lot of resources without a lot to show for it. So first step is really to select a schedule of pacing that can break the current record, and we've taken then an option B that allows for an ability to increase the speed and pace to then push it a little bit further out. If you actually look historically at world record pacing, you typically see that 49.5% of the distance is covered in the first half and 50.5% is covered in the second half. And that comes from other sports as well that are similar to cycling, whether it's an endurance running type task or speed skating as well. So we're not trying to do something that we haven't been doing for a while.
So 7.82? 7.1, yeah, 7.1, 7.2, so 17.14. It's right on a 52 for this first one. 7.1, 7.2. So here's what, let me show you this on the line. That's 52.5. Okay. So the second one, then we'll do it 53, which will be a 7.08. So between 7.0 and 7.1, and then it'll be 6.9 for 53, or 6.8.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. If I'm, a couple steps, here, this would be about 0.2 into the red. So that reference. So
I'll be able to know about it.
You'll have the exact there too, but just in case if you got sweat in your eye and you couldn't see the number for a couple laps, if I'm far into the red, you're way out, so kind of settle it. If I'm in the brown, then give a little acceleration. Simple. Just riding a bike, man. Yep, circles.
I'll be watching his body language, just how he's sitting on the bike, and I can see his face as he goes by. It's very fast. I'm holding and giving him splits, so using an application and an iPad where I'm giving him the split from the previous lap that he is actually seeing that number. And he also can see some things with the time remaining and the laps that he's covered, but he doesn't have exactly to the second where he is relative to his schedule, as well as to the current record. That will be shown up on the big board, and everyone else in the velodrome will know. Interestingly, the only guy who's doing the effort will not know that information. Everyone else knows it, and so the pacing from lap to lap, we have that specific schedule set out. And so if he's hitting those marks, he simply is achieving the goal. Because the SRM is mounted behind the bicycle, you're not allowed to see that in the track. And so it is an interesting, again, different type of event compared to what many may be used to.
7.1, perfect. 7.0, yes. 7.1, 7.0. Steady. Perfect. Yes. Good. The pause on this was not set, so I had to
It was giving you live time, not the paused. So, yeah. It's one setting that I can't change during, so I'll get it done for the next one. Yeah, it was pause right here. Now we're good. 9-second pause. So the next one will be good. It's good if this goes down like
So like,
5
was that
minutes,
an hour?
drop it and shatter it. I still have to give you something. So worst case, I'll still use the
Nice
line.
V-shape.
Yeah, but the first couple laps were like,
Curve
what? So you were a
coming.
little over speed and settled in.
The first one, I wasn't looking at you.
Yeah. Just like, what?
I even looked when you had it flat.
Yeah. What is it?
I
Yeah.
just saw 5. I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
Locked in now?
Yep. We are right at 1 minute and 50 seconds. Yeah. Keep your fingers clean now. Pierce your ear. Yep, 2 minute post. So let's have you spin on the trainer a little bit. Just nice and easy, 100 watts. There's a physical aspect that is absolutely difficult. As a professional cyclist, Rowan has been pushing himself and has done, recent 53 or so minute time trial at the Australian Nationals in early January. So the effort itself, world time trial, in September last year, he knows what that distance duration type of effort is. The specificity on the track is another element of the repetitive
Good stuff, guys.
200 and some laps of the same thing going by with that high physical effort. And the most important part then is his concentration, his ability to stay completely on task with
117.
minimal waiver variation.
117 looks like
there's a slowing that
back down,
starts to accelerate
back
to
up.
regain the
There we
speed. And so being clock rate steady from start to finish with maybe some slight increases towards the end is really what's going to yield that optimal distance of the hour. I haven't ridden a straight hour on the track recently, though I have previously, not in a time trial format, but
Look at him all the way out
I've been out there. I have an understanding to a degree again, not in the exact same way what Rowan will be doing on Sunday. But I did sit on the stationary trainer watching Jens's record ride and just sitting there watching everything being done and just sitting there on the train
Man, what
after
happens if
during
you get
Cali
those
World Cup
things there on the light blue?
2 weeks ago. Excellent. That was spot on. That's what we want. You started a little over speed on the last one just for those first 3 laps, like you were 53.5. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Steady. One more.
No, it's in prick.
No. Nope, you're good. You can spin on the trainer if you want, or you can roll around that.
You keep spinning. Keep exercising.
The difficult parts, as we would assume, will be between about 35 and 45 minutes. It's in that range where you've gone just a little over halfway, but you're still quite a ways away when you get into the final 10 minutes. In most cases, again, unless you've done a very poor job with the pacing, then those last 10 minutes could be an eternity. But with a proper schedule and execution through the early half of the race, it will still be difficult in that 35 to 45, maybe 50-minute mark. But at that point, you should be in a very good place coming into the finish, of knowing that there's a potential to go even further. I feel very good with what Rowan has done recently and what we've done in the 30-minute trial, that every piece is in place and the success is very, very much there. It all comes down to them executing on Sunday and following what it needs to be done. It's a lot of work, yeah. That's why I wanted that little, just give a little, just try to do it. And it took 2 laps, and then you came down to a 6. Yeah.
6.5.
Yeah.
Kicks in.
Yeah.
I worked on my pacing from
Someone really gonna ride a
from
moped around the
basically
track?
the old record or the current record. So my goal is to sort of go out and sit on sort of the record as it is now, and after halfway,
That's pretty badass.
hopefully I've got some more, and I'll lift towards the last 20
Just
minutes
breathing
of
fumes.
the hour.
I think
I'm
it'd
a
be
little
better
bit
if it's an
nervous about it,
electric moped.
but I think with the velodrome I was on at yesterday, and obviously going to be on it for the rest of this week leading into the attempt, and it feels fast. And from my form in Tour Down Under and Nationals, I don't think if I've got any doubts, I'm probably not in the right mindset for the record attempt. So I've done a lot of mental preparation to sort of back myself and not have any doubts. So obviously it's always nerves,
the last
but
and final climb.
They're good nerves.
February 8, 2015, 6 years ago. I wish they had a nutrition list. Hey, look at that, that's a DA-20, or maybe even a DA-40. That's the plane that I trained in initially in my aviation career. It's a diamond star. Kunsthaus. There we go. Look at him push, get up to speed, out of his seat. .7 kilometers an hour. Here we go. There's the time. Is that 30 minutes? Oh, look at the crowd. 52.49. He's got 10 more seconds left. Push it, baby. Push it. Booyah! Dude, for 1 hour. 52.49 kilometers an hour. Is that the record? I don't know. Maybe. It'd be nice if the world record lists his entire team. They definitely were all contributors to him getting this record. Nutrition is a good. Nice pull down there, guys. There. UCI hour record. Rohan Dennis. 52,000. Oh, so legit. That's pretty good. Motivational. That was fun, guys. Now we're going to do whatever's prescribed on that quick 20-minute ride. Or I guess I could move that to tomorrow. And just hang out in Watopia for a little bit. I definitely need to exercise a little bit more than this. Close those rings on my Apple Watch. Competition's still going. Today I've only had 321 points. So I'm behind by 279 points. There we go. Gonna unclip a little bit. Pretty awesome. I don't remember I don't remember. Pretty great at, was it 80%? 80%. 80%. I just do that because I don't know, you know, pretty great at 80%. Didn't say what I did. Huh. I don't know. Let's see here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to my profile. If you guys never saw that, that's where I'm at. It shows that I'm a pursuiter, and it shows what the results of my full frontal were almost a month ago here. 804. I'm sure I could push a little bit higher than that. And you see my FTP is 163, which is pretty low, man, compared to some of my friends. They're pushing like 220, 240. I'm definitely on the slow end, but let's see. Let's see what the calendar shows here. It shows GCN. It's a great warm-up or short ride. Don't have much time, don't want to go too hard. Ideal session, like Igniter to do before a race. Covers all the bases of intensity. That sounds great, man. It doesn't say the category or anything else like that. I'm just gonna click start, and let's see here. Power device. Okay, that's good. It's all coming in. It's at 100%. Why not for 20 minutes, right? You know what? I still gotta relax a little bit. I'm still recovering. We're gonna go back down to 80, and we'll do it. We'll see how this goes. Here we go. Doubling it up tonight on the calendar. Getting an hour in. There we go. That's the kind of trainer I have. I have a Wahoo kicker trainer, and it's badass, man. 2020 version, I love it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a GCN training session. This one is going to be a gentle warm-up for a harder session, but it works well as a standalone
It's my
ride
first time
if you don't
seeing
have
this
much
kind of video too.
I'm Chris OP, we're joined by Manon Lloyd, and this is a session designed by Neil Henderson of the Sufferfest. Now to start with, we're setting out at a cadence of 80 reps per minute, and we're not trying very hard at all. This is literally like going for a walk on the bike. It's the start of the warm-up, and this step is going to take 3 minutes in total, of which we have 2 minutes 30 remaining.
They have what they call the
So you're going to ride nice and gently, really, really easy intensity just to get going, and then we're slowly going to start building up our cadence throughout the ride, and we're also going to ramp up the intensity as well. The idea being that by the time we get off the bike, we're ready for a race, for a harder training session, or just for the rest of the day, whatever it is you have planned. The most important thing is to focus on the correct intensity, find the correct gearing, get your cadence going nicely. If you're warm, make sure you have a fan, a drink, a towel to mop up the sweat. You can see that we're really well prepared here today. I feel like I'm sweating already. So we're nearly halfway through the first one. You'll notice that we're also using our Wahoo training setup, something which we're very fortunate to use and have at our disposal. Just makes everything that little bit easier for us. Still struggling to find the right gear here. Intensity right now should be around 50%, and then we're going to ramp it up to 55%. So that's of your FTP. If you're using a power meter, if you're doing it by perceived exertion, it's literally like going for an easy walk. It's not going to take long until we get up to the harder efforts. It's only a 23-minute session, so it's short and sweet. But you'll really notice, as you go through it, you're going to warm up nicely. So the next step's only 2 minutes long. Slightly harder, slightly faster cadence. Get the breathing up, get the legs going, get the lungs going.
The cadence is too high.
Get the blood pumping around your body, get you ready for the effort that's going to come later on. The hardest effort we're going to do on this session is 150% of your threshold power. So imagine your threshold is 300 watts. It's going to be around 450 watts for you. It's not going to be that hard because it's only short, but it's going to be enough to get your body going, get you ready for whatever's happening afterwards. My cadence has dropped a little there, down to 76. It's not good. You've got to pay attention to that. Stay on top of it. So we've got just over 20 seconds now until we have an increase in our cadence, an increase in the effort. That's going to take us up to 85, which is a little bit faster. You're not really going to notice the difference that much. And perceived exertion is going to go up to 2. So it's going to be like going for a slightly faster, gentle walk, if you want to look at it that way. So 5 seconds now until the next increase. 3, 2, 1, go. I hear a little beep on my computer there. It's going to help me keep track of everything that we're doing here today. So this one is now only 2 minutes long, this little ramp. Again, good to find the right gear. There somewhere. 85 cadence.
I bet you it's on the Hydrow. Oh, that sucks.
85 is not that fast. It's the sort of cadence you might do for a long endurance ride. But it's going to get the legs going, help everything ramp up that little bit. So that's already 30 seconds into it now. You should start to feel comfortable.
Is that my heart rate that's registering over there? Is that my heart rate over there?
So if you're looking at this as a percentage of your threshold power, that's 55%. So it's going to be just over 155 watts if you have a threshold of 300. Choosing 300 because it's a nice round number.
I don't know why
my
it's
little
not
brain
showing
can compute 300 watts quite quickly and easily.
That sucks. Actually,
I was going to choose 400. It's just unrealistic though. Now's a good time to turn the fan on, to start warming up, or to start cooling yourself down if you're warming up. Maybe have a little drink before the intensity gets too hard.
What I need to do is just buy an amp adapter.
There we go. Find the right gear eventually. These initial blocks, they're all about trying to find that right rhythm, the right gearing. You may well find as we go through this now that you can just go 1 gear each step. It's kind of what I was after. So, cadence of 85. 30 seconds to go. We're going to ramp it up to 90.
Oh. I don't know what that was all about. Oh, suck. I don't know what I did.
It's going to be a little bit faster. 90 starts to get a little bit uncomfortable if you're not a fan of pedaling quickly. If you do like pedaling quickly, you'll start to find that actually this is going to be more comfortable. So there you go. 60 seconds now at cadence of 90. So ramping it up a little bit more. Turning the legs a little bit faster, and then really focusing on your breathing. Having a drink if you need to before the intensity gets higher. So this is at a percentage of 60% of your threshold. So imagine if you took that magic 300 watts, it's going to be around 180 watts now, isn't it? Check if I've done the maths correctly there. This only lasts for 60 seconds, and then we're going to go straight in to 95 cadence for 30 seconds. We're going to be trying quite a bit harder, so that's getting right up over the top of your endurance zone and in towards the tempo kind of zone. So you're going to be trying quite a lot harder. You'll notice that you're going to get a lot warmer in those couple of minutes, in the next couple of minutes. And in 2 seconds, up to 95. So that is quite a bit faster. 95 is a genuinely quick cadence, but this only lasts for 30 seconds. And then we're going to drop it back down to 80. Have a little drink. Stay on top of hydration. Especially if this is a warm-up for something else. You do not want to get dehydrated whilst doing this. So cadence 95, try not to pedal too quickly. And that's it, that's that over. We go now straight back down to 80. Cadence of 80, so you may have to up the gearing a little bit. If your turbo trainer doesn't slow down. Or you may have to drop your gearing if your turbo trainer does slow down very quickly. Every turbo is a little bit different. So cadence of 80 right now for 60 seconds.
Watch is showing at 125.
Got another 40 seconds remaining. Then we're going to go straight up to a cadence of 100. That's going to be back to a similar intensity to what we did a second ago. It's going to get your body going up and down, up and down. It's really going to get your heart and lungs going. Get it ready for what's about to happen.
Add it.
Either later on in the day or after this session if you're using it as a warm-up.
There it is. Great.
Just 15 seconds remaining on this block now. Going back up to that cadence of 100, which is quite a bit faster again. When we get there, we're going to hold it there for 60 seconds, and then we'll have another 60-second recovery. So, go. Cadence of 100. And you've got an intensity there of about 80% of your threshold. Plus, If you have a threshold of that magic 300.
I'm 80%.
If you're doing this off perceived exertion, it's not going to feel that hard. You're going to notice your heart's getting faster, your breathing rate's getting higher. It should feel like a 5 to 6 out of 10 really, at most. It shouldn't be too hard at all. Just going to do this for 60 seconds now, which is another 30 seconds to go. You can drop it back down to 80 RPM then, and halve the intensity back down to 50% of the sustainable threshold power. I'm definitely getting a little bit warmer. Could do turning my fan up a little bit. Stay on top of hydration, that sort of thing. Right, okay. Stay comfortable on the bike, focus on your breathing. And in 3 seconds, drop it back down to 80. Cadence, there we go. Cadence of 80. Intensity right back down to 50%. It's quite a bit easier than we were going just then. We're going to do this for 60 seconds. Then once we're through the 60-second period, we've got a 3-minute effort coming up. It's going to be up to a tempo style effort, so it'd be what we were doing for 30 seconds. Up to that tempo style of effort for what we did for 30 seconds. We're going to hold it there then for 3 minutes. And that's really where you're going to notice your body's going through a few temperature changes. Perceived exertion of just over 6. Total intensity 85%. So that's going to be around 255 watts if you are basing your threshold around 300. If you're not, you can do the maths at home. I don't need to do that for you. And this is going to be done at a cadence of 90. 3, 2, 1, go. So cadence up to 90. Perceived exertion now up to 6. Then you've got 3 minutes of a steady state effort.
3 minutes of this?
This is the sort of effort that you sustain if you're riding hard for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it's a very sustainable effort. It's not that hard, but when you're warming up and you're doing it for the first time on any given day, it can sometimes feel like a bit of a battle.
How long did you row for?
85% of total intensity.
25, nice.
But 6 out of 10. So we've got another 2.5 minutes of this interval. And then we're going to go up to a cadence of 100. And we're going to try a little bit harder then.
Holy moly.
We're going to try it 60 seconds, 7 out of 10 perceived exertion. And we're going to be getting very close to our threshold power. So we're going to be up to 285 to 290 watts if you're using that magic 300 number.
Oh wow, is that a 10-minute effort? It's remarkable.
So over the next 3 minutes, we're really going to warm up a lot. So make sure you drink enough, make sure your fans are on, the windows are open. Make sure you're focusing on maintaining good posture on the bike. Keep your cadence 90. I can see mine's dropping because I'm not paying attention. We're nearly halfway through this 3-minute effort now.
2004.
Starting to feel the sweat on my forehead. You warming up, man?
Very warm.
I can see that you're sweating as well. Which is good because I was worried it was only me.
No, I'm finding it hard.
Really focus on your breathing. It's really important to warm up everything. Think of your breathing as a muscle as well. Your brain and your legs, they're all muscles and they all need to be prepared for exercise. I always find listening to music's good in a warm up. Maybe have something on in the background. We've got 1 more minute now. 1 minute and 5 seconds before we then ramp up to that 7 out of 10 perceived exertion. Cadence at 100. And we're going to be really close to our threshold power, 95%, and it's a good solid 7 out of 10 perceived exertion. It's going to be hard to speak through that. You're going to warm up really quickly, but then after that we've got a nice 90-second recovery, 1.5 minutes after that. So just 40 seconds now until that harder effort. Cadence is the most important thing when it comes to warming up. We can go from a 90 cadence up to 100. You'll probably find you won't need to change gear. The increase in the intensity or the cadence speed, leg speed, is going to take you up far enough. It's just 20 seconds now until we make that increase. Get nice and comfy on the bike. Find a nice stable position where you can breathe well, you can pedal well. Got just over 5 seconds now until we really ramp it up for the first time. 3, 2, 1, go. Cadence up to 100. Exertion up to 7 out of 10. 7 and a bit out of 10, if you can. Take good, nice controlled breaths on the bike. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed, your hands nice and relaxed. Just focus on letting the effort warm your body up. Try not to fight it too much. Focus on pedaling nice circles, feeling comfortable on the bike. Just 30 seconds left, and we've got a nice, easy recovery for 90 seconds. Good deep breaths, get the oxygen through your body. Find the position that you want to do your main intervals in. Get locked into that position in a nice, comfortable way. Just 10 seconds now. Going to be dropping the cadence down to 80 and the intensity down to 50%, so that'll be 150 watts. There you go, that's it. That's that step over. We now have 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Stay on top of your gearing. Cadence of 80. Good, long, deep breaths. Get the oxygen into your body. It's again, back to that walking intensity, feeling like you're not trying whatsoever. Because in a minute, we're going to be trying quite a bit harder. We're going to go through some intervals in a minute that are going to include a lot of work that's going to target muscle recruitment. So we're going to be using a lower cadence of 70 for 30 seconds. And then a little bit easier, a little bit faster cadence for 30 seconds after that. And then I'm going to do a really fast cadence after that again, just to get your heart and lungs going as well. So we're just over halfway through this easy recovery now. You're probably going to have to change gear a couple of times. The intensity is going to be 110% of FTP. So if you have that 300 watt threshold, it's going to be 330 watts, for example. Just to remind you, I'm really bad at maths. I'm trying to keep it simple. Maybe you have a computer at home that tells you your power numbers and your percentages. That'll make this session a lot easier for you. Otherwise, it's going to be an 8 out of 10 on the perceived exertion. So 8 out of 10 is getting pretty serious. Can't really maintain an 8 out of 10 for too long. Maybe 15 to 20 minutes. It's going to be really burning. So we've got 2, 1, go. So it's 30 seconds at a cadence of 70. So you're probably going to have to change gear a few times. It's all about engaging all your muscles. Find the gear that works. There we go. This is really going to help make sure that every part of your pedal stroke is working nicely. We've got 5 seconds. We're going to use a slightly easier gear then. Reduce the intensity. There we go. Just short and sweet. Cadence of 80. Oh, I've gone a little bit fast there. Up to a cadence of 80. And then the next interval is going to take our cadence up to 110. We're going to be trying around 105% of FTP. Get quite warm now. We've got 10 seconds until that one begins. So you're going to be pedaling quite fast this time.
Longer block.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is again an 8 out of 10 if you're doing this on feel. So that's quite hard. You wouldn't want to sustain it for more than around 15 to 20 minutes outside. 110 cadence, that's what we're aiming for. And this one's going to last for 90 seconds. And after that, we've got another nice gentle recovery. Really focus on that cadence, try not to bounce around on the bike. Try and pedal nice complete circles. Remain smooth, don't waste any energy. And keep your breathing going well as well. You've got just 1 minute now till the next opportunity to drink. Smooth all the way around the pedal stroke. Try to relax your arms and shoulders, that will prevent the bouncing. Try and put the power into your legs and not through your bum. That will also prevent the bouncing on the saddle. Just focus on the interval. 110 cadence. Don't let it drop. We've got just 30 seconds remaining on this one.
Lasered onto
and then we've got another 90 seconds of recovery. Nice deep breaths, nice fast cadence. Get your heart revving real quick. Get your body temperature going. 15. 10 seconds to go. Remember, 8 out of 10. You're trying quite hard now. And we've got a nice recovery period to look forward to of 90 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and recover. Cadence of 80. Might take a while for Toby to catch up with you. Drop your cadence right down. Sit up a little bit, have a little drink. Maybe turn your fan up a little bit further.
That really got my heart rate up.
Yeah. Fast legs. I feel like I could get off and do a race now. I don't know about you.
Definitely, I'm very warmed up for that.
We've got a couple of little steps to go yet though. So looking ahead, we've got just 2 big efforts to go. And these are really going to finish us off, make sure that when we get off the bike, feeling nice and sharp, ready to go. We've got another 50 seconds now of this gentle cadence of 80 work. 1 on the perceived exertion scale, so you're really not trying at all. You're just pedaling gently, breathing deeply. It's like going for a walk on the bike. Then we're going to do 60 seconds, cadence of 95, and we're going to do that right on our threshold power. So that's the sort of power you can maintain in theory for around an hour. We've got just over 20 seconds until that starts. So breathe deep, have that drink. It's just 1 minute of effort, and then we've got a recovery period, and then we've got the final effort, which only lasts a few seconds. So in just over 10 seconds, we're going to press the lap timer one more time, 60 seconds, right on your threshold power. In 3, 2, 1, go. 60 seconds now. Cadence up to 95. You're not pedaling too quickly, but you're producing the sort of power you maintain in a time trial. It's a very solid effort right now, but because we're nice and warm, we're ready for the effort. It shouldn't feel too taxing, and it's only for 1 minute. We've got 40 seconds remaining. We drop the cadence then down to 85. We cruise for 60 seconds, and then we've got the final interval. You'll be getting off. You'll be ready to race. 30 seconds to go now.
He says, I'll be ready to race.
Bring your cadence ever so slightly over that 95.
I'll be ready to
absolutely
row.
fine. Just don't start spinning along at 105. It's completely unnecessary. It's not doing the job it's meant to do. Focus on your breathing, your position on the bike. If you're doing a time trial, you're going to be right in that position that you're going to be riding in. If you're racing, when you get into the position, you're going to be on the start line. You've got 5 seconds now and a short 60-second recovery. 2, 1. Cadence down to 85. Good deep breaths in those first few seconds. Get the oxygen around your body. We've got just 1 10-second interval to go. And this one is quite hard. You could do this one standing if you want. So the first few seconds, get that cadence up to 120. That's when we're going to really get our breathing going. We'll be getting off the bike just after that. Good deep breath now for the next 30 seconds. Think about the gearing and where you're going to put your hands for this 10-second burst. It's essentially a sprint for 10 seconds. So 150 is the minimum power you want to aim for, 150% of your threshold. So it could be 450 watts if you're running off that 300
Mine
watt.
is 210.
It really is an explosive sprint.
And that's
when you get your cadence up over 120 in those first few seconds. We've got 5 seconds now. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds. Really get your legs going. Cadence up over 120. In the first 5 seconds, you can sit down and spin then if you want. And that's it. Swing's over before you know it. Right, you've got 110 seconds now. Get your breath. Get ready. Think about what you're going to do after this session. Are you going to do another proper interval session?
Pedaling.
Or are you going to go off and do a race?
Any power whatsoever.
You feel like racing now?
And my cadence is going too. I think I broke it.
I don't need to get a drink, the amount of sweating. Anything to add, Nana?
No, that was a really good warm-up. I'm definitely feeling ready to go out
Yeah.
and race or do an effort.
Was it the sort of thing you would have done as a rider?
Yeah, definitely. The warm-up is obviously really important, and you want to get on that start line feeling ready.
Yeah.
I know what that was all about.
Quite motivated.
Apparently you have to come to a stop to get it to reconfigure. That was a good 22-minute workout. I like it. Yeah, it's weird how...
Just 10 seconds, and that's this session officially over. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing.
Get the Strava, this or that. Honor, glory, victory. All right. I'll just try it down 80% again. Felt easy. Nice. Warm up. Cool down. Boop. So if you look right here, it's completely messed up. Kind of sucks. Says my profile, what it was used. Remember, my heart rate wasn't registering in the beginning. I don't remember what TSS stands for or IF stands for. Induced effort? No, I don't know. Anyways, let's check out my awards. 8 in a month. I got the 4DP badge. It says completed, but it doesn't look like it's there. Anyways, gotta do this night. I did 1 yoga, 4 days in a row. We got the tour of Sufferlandria coming up. Let's check out the calendar. We did everything we were supposed to so far in this training. Now looking forward to this Friday right here. But yeah, it's going good. Going well. Thanks again for joining, guys. I'll be out. But you tell me what you want to see, and we'll do it up. Let's see. I'm going to go row now for a little bit. And yeah. All right, guys. Take it easy. See ya.